I don't see how they win this, so I think if I snap, the opponent should retreat. Bluff, snap. And then, there we go. Okay. Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today, and this time I have a very toxic deck to show you guys. It is all focused around disrupting, irritating, and messing with the opponent's game plan. We're going to be putting rocks in their deck. We're going to be making their cards cost more mana. We're going to be taking away their strength, putting stuff in their locations. We're just going to be being a bit of a nuisance overall. Let's jump right into the cards, shall we? So the first card we have is the Hood. This is going to work very well, being able to be given to the opponent with Viper, another card that we have in the deck, giving them negative strength, getting the demon ourselves into our hand. Very, very nice stuff, a very useful card. Next we have Iceman. This is a key card for disrupting the opponent and making their cards cost more mana, gonna irritate them and make their early game plays a bit harder to pull off. Hopefully it will be good for us. Next we have Korg, the sort of opposite to Iceman in a sense, in that you give the opponent a rock which eventually will hopefully come into their hand and disrupt their later game plays, whereas Iceman is more focused around the early game disruption. So we got a mixture there with the 1-drops to mess with the opponent throughout the game. Very nice. Next we have Luke Cage and Hazmat. We're going to use these two together in an ideal world to nullify the opponent's board, you know, take away all their power while not being afflicted by that ourselves because of Luke Cage. So nice little combo there to take away points from the opponent, on brand, on theme for the deck. Next we have Scorpion, again, afflicting their cards with negative power, which will, you know, cause them to be quite infuriated, I imagine, when all their cards have negative 2, 3 strength, whatever it might be. Next we have Viper, so that is working with the Hood. Typically you can also use it on certain locations, like Savage Land perhaps, to send a crappy unit to the opponent and clog up their board, make it difficult for them to actually play any cards, really. And on that theme, we also have Green Goblin in the 3 mana cost slot. I don't really love this card because it's so few points on your side of the board, really. It's only 3 for 3, which is pretty crap. You know, we can get it up to 4, a negative 4 for the opponent with Hazmat, but yeah, I don't love Green Goblin. It's more here for the flavor of the deck rather than as an actual good card. If you wanted a stronger card, maybe play Maximus, perhaps, although that takes away a bit of the synergy with Iceman and Korg and things like that. So, you know, try some other 3-drops if you want. Mr. Fantastic even could be fine, stuff like that. So, yeah, but we've got Green Goblin for the theme of the deck. Very nice. Namor is the next card. This one's another one that I'm unsure on. It's a little tricky to often get the full 10 points of value with Namor, but when you do, I think it can be really, really key and very nice in this deck. You can play the Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin into that location, because of course they're going to not count as units on your side of the board. So there's some nice synergy there with Namor. But yeah, I like having just a big chunky unit that you can play mid-game to help you win one of the locations, and hopefully the other one you can win with your other later game cards. So yeah, Namor could be a Jessica Jones, could be some other random 4-cost card. It's whatever, really. I don't think Namor's very good, but you can experiment there if you so desire. Next we have Hobgoblin in the 5 mana cost. This guy's going to go to the other side of the board, clog them up, get us a good amount of points in a location without playing a card on our side, so we're able to even play 5 cards perhaps in the location where Hobgoblin or Green Goblin are played. So quite nice. Obviously quite infuriating for the opponent, particularly if you can snipe them and pop that Hobgoblin to the last spot that they have in a particular location and really ruin their plans. Very nice. Next we have Arrow. This card is just a nightmare to play against in general. If you're ahead in the game, you can always just slam that arrow on the board, force them to go into a location they're already winning, and of course you're just winning from that point. And we have also Leader, who has been nerfed, has been changed, reworked in fact, to now only copy the cards that your opponent plays in the location to the right of the Leader. So that makes him a lot more of an interesting proposition. We're going to have to be a bit more cerebral about when we play the Leader, where we play it as well. It'll be a little trickier than usual to use it, but I think it's still, well, potentially quite a toxic card, taking the opponent's cards, using them yourself, And of course, we're going to be sometimes a bit behind on strength on the board because we're playing things like Luke Cage, Green Goblin, that sort of thing. So having that leader just to get us some extra points maybe in a left location and then also defend the location to the right should the opponent play cards. I think leaders, you know, make sense in this deck as well. So that's the deck. You've got Aero Demon as a nice little finisher there. A lot of games, and you can mess with the opponent with this one. So quite a fun deck. Let's jump into some gameplay. Guys, I have to interrupt this video to tell you that a dangerous number of you are not subscribed to the channel. I don't know what is going on, but the numbers are dangerously low, and I am here to warn you that if you do not subscribe, then you might miss my videos. That would be a terrible thing. You might miss videos that are posted, so perhaps consider clicking that button if you want to see more of my content. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, let's get into it. Ooh, we have the Hood. Coming down turn 1 even with Sakar. The opponent's going to get Zabu. Well, that's quite unfortunate for us. But I suppose we can play a demon on turn 1 here, which is kind of interesting. Haven't ever really done that before. We've got the Viper, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and play that now. I don't really see why not. I guess we could go Scorpion, but doing both the Disruption with the Iceman Scorpion on the 3rd turn doesn't seem too bad. Just get that Viper value before they potentially play any more cards in the left. And Squirrels are nice. That's going to really help us to clog up the opponent here. Let's go Korg Scorpion, something like this. Get the Rock in their deck, which hopefully, you know, they'll draw into at some point here. So far we've had a pretty decent curve, but we've got to face the Zabu. That is always a scary prospect. They're Korging me as well. That only can mean one thing. Namor here, not going to be so good. This card could be certainly a bit of a mistake to play. I'll play it in the right location for now. Yeah, Namor not good with with Central Park, really. Yeah, I think this is the only kind of deck that Namor really makes any sense in, like a Hazmat Goblin deck, but I don't even know if the card is good even there. It's just so difficult to get the value from it without your opponent having quite an easy day playing into that location and winning it themselves, so definitely to think about. Moon Girl plus Darkhawk coming in here, so you've got to imagine they're going to be rocking me pretty hard towards the end here. Can't play Aero, we can only really play Iceman, which is not the card we want to see particularly, but perhaps we can make something good happen with Leader at the end if we draw into it. Maybe they won't overcome me in the right. That's probably not a... well, it's not a very reasonable thing to assume, I think. Okay, very interesting spots. I mean, but actually they're going to go ahead and retreat. So perhaps they did not have any rock givers to use there. Leader was probably going to come in and actually win that game, interestingly. Here we go. Okay, Hood in hand. Ooh, that is a pretty nice peak, actually. Going to give us some additional Luke Cage and Hood value here, which is really cool. I've not seen the peak Hood very often. I guess I can play both of these here in case I draw into a 2-drop or even a 1-drop that we might want to play. We might want to play the Demon on this turn 2 here. We'll see. Could play Iceman Demon. It plays a bit into Killmonger, but we have Leader in hand for our turn 6 anyway, so I don't think I mind too much just playing both of the 1-cost cards here at the appropriate time. Lizard from the opponent. Okay, no giveaways just yet as to what they're playing. It's tempting to just play Viper left here, even though we'd give them a point. It's a bit awkward giving them a point. Perhaps I shouldn't have played into all of the different locations. Did end up actually not getting value on the Hood with the peak. Which is kind of funny. Funny how that goes. And we're going to take away, you know, units from our side, which would take away Lizard value, so that's kind of not great for us, but I don't think it's the end of the world. We are going to be okay. Yeah, I should probably be playing for Namor and for, you know, not putting units down necessarily all the time. Bit of an error on my part. Let's try to contest the left, I think. Okay, we're going to have an Enchantress coming in. That's a bit annoying. It takes away our Luke Cage value, of course. Gonna make Arrow Leader not so good. Oh my goodness, Dream Dimension again. It's not the featured location, is it? Just getting a couple of games in a row. Means we have no turn 5 play, which is quite bad. And there is a Killmonger. It is a destroy deck. We've not been able to get much going this game, so I think I'm going to have to go ahead and retreat into the next. So far, not too bad. We've not been able to... I mean, I missed playing perhaps a little bit there in that last game. Not sure it really mattered, though. They had the Killmonger as well, so... It's what it is. Can do a Viper turn 2. It's not something we'd love to do. Ooh! Superflow is pretty bad for us. We're going to have to, I think, Viper our Korg away just to disrupt them from getting that extra mana. Not super ideal for us, putting our card here. Superflow can otherwise be quite good, because we are able to, you know, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin it, that kind of thing. But here, no such mercy going to be available for us. Instead, we could just go with the Scorpion now, perhaps. There's a turn 7 this game. It's pretty interesting. We might be able to get some pretty hefty Hazmat value. Maybe Hazmat plus Arrow at the end. I don't know. If we draw Luke Cage before then. Could be an option. Oh, goodness me. What have I done again? I'm not getting name or value because of Grand Central. That's a bit of an oopsie. Bit of a mistake. I'm not too good at playing for Namor. It's a card I've not played a whole lot of. So I'm a little bit inexperienced, I suppose we could say. Let's just go Hobgoblin right for now. Fill that location up a little bit. We've got the Dark Hawk coming in. So this is probably Zabu, but they missed the Zabu. Oh, Arrow's going to move Dark Hawk over, which is pretty interesting actually. And that's going to cause them to retreat. Fellow beta player with the Hulk avatar. It's quite exciting, isn't it? Let's go with the Korg turn 1. We've got Luke Cage Viper. Let's play for Namor this game. That would be good. Something I've not been very on point with recently. So Luke Cage, I think turn 2 is fine. You know, we might get some value from it. We might not. Equally. Okay. Invisible Woman. That's a bit spooky. Means they could have all sorts of stuff. I'd love to play Namor in the mid, if possible. I think Viper right is really nice here. The Scorpion value is not guaranteed because we're shuffling back our cards. But we cannot block their Savage Land location. Make it difficult for them to win that one, I think. And Namor mid is looking really good here, of course. Oh, we've got Hazmat as well. I'm going to snap on this, I think. I think I like this situation. I can also Hobgoblin the left to perhaps disrupt a bit of their, you know, secret planning with Invisible Woman. Maybe. Might be some kind of Hela shenanigans. I'm a little worried that if I Hobgoblin now, you know, there might be trouble. Maybe we should just Hobgoblin the mid, to be honest. Maybe we should just Hobgoblin the mid, or even the right, just to guarantee the win in the right. The issue with doing that is... yeah, I think I like mid more. We need to sort of, you know, the Namor is otherwise quite vulnerable. The opponent can overcome that fairly easily, I think. Oh, they're actually going to leech us. That's a bit of a pain, isn't it? But we have Leader. Okay. So this presents a very interesting prospect. We probably have to just Leader left or even right. Oh, this is when the Leader nerf really hurts, eh? So the Leader nerf really hurts us. This might just be a retreat angle, honestly. We could go for the YOLO Leader left and hope that we can overcome whatever they've got here, and or they maybe play into the mid. Or we say they never play into the mid, we play Leader here and we try to copy the card they play on the right. I think that's probably the best play, even though I don't think it's really that great for us. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can win. They are just going to play a card in the left, which is scary. You imagine they've probably got, yeah, Hela coming in here, I guess. However... oh, Wolverine's coming in. Oh, God. And Hela, yeah, that is pretty strong. Apocalypse being discarded. Are we actually okay? We're actually okay. Jesus. They didn't really have many targets with the Hela. So in the end there, I mean, probably playing leader right was a bit safer if we're thinking about Hela. Might have been a slight mistake on my part, but you know, I'll take a win. A little bit lucky on that last one. Missing the 50-50, the opponent, for the win. Let's just go ahead and play Hood turn 1. That's fine. We've got Luke Cage turn 2, which I think is what we want to see. We haven't actually got to play Hazmat with Luke Cage yet. It's quite a telegraphed play, I suppose you could say, in this particular deck. And it looks like they're probably going to have a Killmonger, because they're running Destroy Synergies in this particular game. So I won't play my Demon here, I think I'll just pass. Maybe go for an Aero Demon final turn, something like that. It looks to me like we are running up into, you know, yeah, Destroy deck with the new Wolverine. So Green Goblin perhaps is okay. I mean, it's the Namor feels a bit weird. I suppose I can play it in Nidavellir and maybe not commit any more cards there. It's a little bit strange, I'll say that. Maybe that is the play though at this point. Got to be really careful with our goblins because they can of course be eaten or destroyed by the opponent, which would be not great. Be truly not the best news ever. So I wonder if we go Hobgoblin now, maybe we can arrow them away from the middle and the left? The middle and the right, sorry. We can hope that Hobgoblin is enough points. It's looking a bit scary. They are going to Deathlock. And we wanted, you know, the opponent had initiative there, so they're not going to be able to, you know, we're not going to have to worry too much about the Deathlock killing the Hobgoblin. It's a bit scary. Do we go and arrow in the right is a question. Because arrowing the left is not going to do that much unless they play sort of a singular card like Death. But in that case, arrowing the right is better anyway, I believe. Interesting. I think we should be okay here. There's always the possibility of Galactus coming as well with Wolverine. You never know. If they Galactus us, the Wolverine comes out at 8, but we'll actually be winning that situation with this arrow in the right. So I think I like arrow right here. I'm not sure I'm going to snap though. It's a bit spooky. I don't know what can beat us really. Maybe if they played a bunch of small cards in the right, we might be overwhelmed. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to be okay actually. Yeah, we just take a pretty chill win. Dodging the destroys on the goblins. Very good. Man, I'd really love to get a game with Hazmat Luke Cage. Feels a bit pointless having such a toxic card in the deck, literally. What about those chemicals without actually getting to use it? But we'll see. We'll see what can be done. So Luke Cage turn 2, maybe just the way. I could also Korg and maybe not even Demon. I could just simply Korg to get the rock in the deck. I think I like that. Disrupt the opponent a bit. Mess with them. I swear, this game, we had the Hazmat Luke Cage, but we got leeched in one of the prior games, so it didn't quite count, unfortunately. Maybe let's play the Demon now. I'll play it in the left. Don't really know yet if they are the kind of guy that's going to be running a Killmonger, but Green Goblin would suggest not necessarily. No name or value this game. This card is so suspect, honestly. We can play it in the left here. It's kind of fine. I mean, we actually end up dodging Shang-Chi, which is hilarious. This is going quite well for us, it turns out. We can play a Hobgoblin in the right, I think. That's gonna really punish them if they go for their own Goblin line of play. I think I'm gonna snap this. I kind of like what's going on here. We've got the potential for some good things coming our way. They might be, yeah, no, they're just gonna retreat. I was thinking they might be a Galactus deck, possibly. But I think against that we're in a good position for sure. Very nice, let's jump into another one. Perhaps the final game here. I'm quite impressed with how this deck's been doing, to be perfectly honest. There were a few bizarre retreats from the opponents today, but I'm genuinely quite impressed with how it's performed, especially since I'm not playing it very well, I think, this deck. My Namors have left a lot to be desired, I feel. Let's go Scorpion left, play into Stark Tower, of course, to get that +2 power. It's a bit of a no-brainer, and we're going to deny Adam Warlock, which I'm very happy about. Okay, Viper going to be a card which we don't really get much value from right now. I'm going to play it, I guess, into... God, my Namor again is just not good. Suppose we could also go Viper in the left and just give them a 2-drop, but it's just so crap. It really is just so crap. I mean, it might work out. Should we try this? Because it might just brick them up, and then we can easily win the left location, right? And that seems to be what will happen here. It is going to allow them to draw a card, unfortunately, but hey, now at least we have a leader that we can play and perhaps get extra value from, and then lock down this location. I mean, this is really good for me. I think I should snap it, potentially. There could be a Galactus, though. That's the one spooky thing, so I think I'll keep it, yeah, or Dr. Octopus, something like that. We're going to be able to Doc Ock them back, which is really good, though. I was contemplating the snap, but if they're a Galactus deck with the wave, it's a bit spooky. And they might, you know, maybe Doc Ock Galactus. Killmonger coming in. Oh, okay. That's going to allow them some space in the left. Which is a bit annoying for me. But okay, we're winning the mid. That's really nice. Only issue is the amount of cards. Well, they only have one card more than us, so I suppose it's not too bad. We've just got to play Green Goblin, right? There's no other option here, I think. Which is not ideal, because the Stark Tower is going to give them a lot of extra points here, a lot of extra power. They can only play one card per turn now. Pretty interesting situation. They are going to play in the left. Makes sense. Knull, okay, that is pretty spooky. You kind of would imagine it must be Galactus, but they can't actually Galactus anymore. What's the other alternative? I can't really think, to be honest. Oh, the hood is no good. The hood is no good. I feel we're in a position where the opponent probably has to retreat. Wouldn't you imagine? They can only play in one location. I don't see how they win this, so I think if I snap, the opponent should retreat. We can do a butt bluff snap. And then, there we go. Okay. Getting a nice little bluff through there at the end. Very, very good. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was a very toxic deck. We had some nice moments. I didn't get to use Hazmat Luke Cage. Maybe try the deck for yourself, see if you can get that to work. I mean, it's a combo we should get quite often, but we had some disruption coming in from the opponent. Anyway, with that being said, guys, maybe check out the video on the screen right now if you want some more content. Subscribe as always. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.